Can you imagine what a nightmare it must be when you literally can't stand up during a performance because of a sudden injury? Or when you're trying to wave at your friend and a stranger yanks you by the hand into the crowd? Or being forced to watch your 15-year-old self making a fool out of yourself?
Oh my god.
Well, Billie Eilish knows exactly how it feels. Hi, I'm Dylan, and here are the craziest moments Billie had to overcome in her life. I don't want to be you anymore. My whole life I have been prone to injuries, reveals Billie. It's an unlucky feature for anyone, but especially for someone who dreams to dance. And Billie was one of them. But unfortunately, a terrible dance injury crashed her dreams and even caused depression. But where one dream died, another was born, and that is when the world found out about Billie's Ocean Eyes. Her life changed completely. She practically became a teen idol, and it seemed like old traumas have been forgotten. But life is not always that simple. Now the consequences of her injuries grew more severe. You probably know Billie loves to jump during her performances. But it seems that her body doesn't and protests against it. Sometimes this protest happens right when Billie is on stage. Once, during a performance of her mega hit Bad Guy at Milano Rocks Festival, her ankle didn't withstand the pressure and she fell. But despite the terrible pain, she stood up and continued with the concert. However, a few songs later, she had to sit down, as the pain was getting more and more unbearable. You should also know that Billie injured her other ankle a few weeks earlier in Los Angeles. Can you believe it? Eventually, she found the strength to tell her fans what happened to her. And the most impressive thing was that she did not care about her pain at all. Most of all, she was devastated that she can't give her fans the best experience.
I'd rather not do a show than do a crappy version for you. I just want to give you a good show.
She felt broken, saying that it was becoming a real nightmare. And then Billie said that she can't do it anymore, apologized, and ran off stage. After a minute, the crew brought Billie back on stage and she continued the show while sitting on a chair. And even though Billie felt crushed, her fans didn't stop cheering her up for a second. Perhaps that's what gave her the strength to go on. But unfortunately, that was not the only time when her body made Billie cry on stage. During her performance of the song When I Was Older in Washington, Billie literally could not stand up. She usually began singing this song laying on the floor. But when the moment came for her to get up, her knees suddenly got locked. She continued singing nonetheless.
My knee is locked in this position.
Fans did not know how to react, since they thought Billie was in a lot of pain. But she calmed the crowd, saying, "Don't stop, come on," and kept singing her song. Finally, security came up to Billie and helped her stand up. What she did a moment later is insane. Just when Billie understood she could actually stand and move, she started her usual crazy jumps and dances. Like nothing ever happened. Nothing she won't do for her fans. Bury a friend. Everyone knows that Billie Eilish is super emotional, but sometimes the situation gets so harsh, no one could survive it without shedding a tear. There is one tragic story in Billie's life which would make you cry as well. Perhaps you know that while performing the song I Love You, Billie almost for certain would break down in tears, and there's one very major reason for that. I Love You is based on a tragic personal story. Billie was friends with the hip-hop star XXXTentacion. And though his story and personality are quite controversial, it's certain that he was very important to Billie.
He had the biggest impact on me, I feel like more than anybody else did.
And even though the two did not know each other very well, at one moment he really helped Billie to go through some pretty dark times. Later, Billie even shared her texts with the star, where you can clearly see how kind and thoughtful he was towards her. "You're strong. Don't let anyone bring you down. Please at least tell me you're okay." Billie said that in that moment she felt like if it wasn't for him, she might not have been able to go through with her breakdown.
He was like a beam of light and just tried to do everything for other people. That was like the most selfless kid I've ever met in my life.
And that is why Billie dedicated the song I Love You to her lost friend XXXTentacion. Quite often, the singer can't go through the song because she gets caught up in tears. And after the song, Billie always shows a cross with her hands to commemorate her friend. I Love You is so powerful for Billie that to this day, she considers this song one of the best she's ever written. And as a little hint for you, the 3 final tracks in Billie's album are supposed to form a sentence. Listen Before I Go, I Love You, and lastly, Goodbye. There you have it. Now you know how meaningful Billie's songs are. Everything I Wanted. After Billie released a single about fame called Everything I Wanted, she opened up about her struggles with her superstar status as a teenager. And it seems that despite her status and luxurious lifestyle, Billie's professional life can be a living hell. There's a lot in fame that's fucking gross and horrible and just miserable, the singer shared. She's used to weird stuff happening during her concerts. People might throw their bras, avocados, and other crazy stuff at her during the performance. One time, Billie even felt like someone was trying to choke her.
And then I leaned back into this one area of all these fans, and this one girl just went.
Even though the girl obviously did not mean to choke Eilish, she only tried to touch her idol, but the attempt went wrong. Another time, when Billie was performing in the crowd, someone grabbed her by the hand and stole her ring. And once, while she was singing Ocean Eyes, somebody yanked Billie so hard by the hand that it took a whole minute for 2 security guards to pull her away. Can you imagine how horrible that must feel? Despite all that, Billie stays super positive about those, over-enthusiastic fans.
That'd be a bunch of weirdos. Like me.
They're only trying to be loving, and sometimes it just comes off wrong, Billie reveals. More so, she doesn't forget to stress how very grateful she is for her fame, that these moments happen very rarely, and that she is done complaining about it. But sometimes even Billie loses her temper. And this time not because of her passionate fans, but because of the press. One day, Billie found herself on the cover of Nylon Germany's new issue, which came out as a massive surprise to her, and not in a good way. Not only the magazine didn't contact Billie before putting her on the cover, they also created a shirtless, robotic version of her. And don't forget that Billie is only 17 years old. Oh boy, Billie got really furious. To show you how angry she got, check out her response to Nylon magazine on her Instagram. You better never get on Billie's bad side. Eventually, Nylon Germany had chosen to retract their infamous Robo Billie cover. And later, the magazine wrote an official statement to the star in an edited Instagram caption. They assured that the team respects the feelings of Billie Eilish and her fandom, adding that they are fans themselves. But this unpleasant incident did not crush Billie. In fact, she admitted that even though she used to hate fame earlier, now she really enjoys it. In her famous interview with Vanity Fair, where she is asked the same questions 3 years in a row, Billie shared that with her growing fame, she actually feels like she has become more comfortable in her own skin.
Let's do this.
It's incredible how much wiser Billie gets in the span of these 3 years. Reflecting on her last year interview, Billie said she is, for sure, a billion times more confident now. A lot of things have changed for the star in these 3 years. Starting from 257K followers on her Instagram in 2017, rising up to 6.3 million in 2018, and having over 40 million followers this year? Crazy, right?
Damn.
Her life today is insanely hard to manage. Billie cried for hours in her garage after she saw her schedule for the next year. And still, she's going strong. I'm only good at being bad. True fans know that Billie is not at all a bad guy in real life, even though sometimes she is really good at being bad. And here's a story to prove it. If you did not know, her Coachella set was a dream come true for the singer, and she wanted to make it the best experience ever, for her fans as much as for herself. And she did. Billie's Coachella set was epic, no doubt, but one moment made it especially memorable. During performance of her new song, All the Good Girls Go to Hell, she seemed to fall to hell herself for a moment, and she totally forgot the words. But instead of an awkward pause, Billie did this.
Girl.
You might be surprised, but the minor blunder made her fans adore her even more. People were quick to share their support for her on social media. One person tweeted, "Only Billie could forget the lyrics to her song and still pull it off," while someone else responded with an even sweeter tweet. "Made me fall 10 times more in love with her, and I didn't even think that was possible." And there are countless tweets such as these. Another time, During her concert in Denmark, Billie was so excited by her signature jumps that she trips over a cord and falls flat on the stage. Oh, but it would not be Billie if she did not turn this embarrassing situation into a real funny gig. When she fell, the singer just laid down there like a starfish, then rolled around the floor and began laughing. And that's incredible! Her ability to sincerely laugh and just be honest with the audience is probably one of the biggest reasons why so many of us love Billie. Recently, Billie Eilish has been named Billboard's 2019 Woman of the Year, and there's no doubt her success will only grow in the following years. What do you love about Billie the most? Share with us in the comments below. And as always, thanks for staying awesome!